Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are here and it's the first episode of the Racing Debrief for 2024. And oh boy, well, let's jump into it. This is going to be every Monday for the rest of the year, basically. That's always fun. But yeah, no, I'm ready. So, Racing Debrief 2024. If you guys don't know, Racing Debrief is me talking about a little bit of the race. From each week, whether it's NASCAR or F1, and the occasional IndyCar race if I happen to watch it. So, of course, to start off the season, NASCAR has the Busch Clash at the LA Coliseum, and the Busch Light Clash at the LA Coliseum, we should say. Now, basically, that was going to happen Sunday. So right now, I was going to be recording this video. I was going to be probably chilling, doing something else. But the race got moved. Of course, Los Angeles is going to get, or at the time of this video, is getting a very substantial amount of rain, going all the way to Wednesday. So there really wasn't any time for them to do that later in the week. Of course, scheduling-wise, just sort of works the way that it does on a Saturday. Just made sense. I think it was a smart decision. Instead of saying, no, we're going to go to Sunday and then have it get rained, rained out. Oh, we're going to do it Monday. Oh, we're doing it Tuesday. Oh, we're doing it Wednesday. Smart move. Especially for a preseason exhibition race. And also for the fact that the Daytona 500's coming up. And, there's a lot of prep going into that. Prep going into the actual season. So it made sense to me. I know a lot of people maybe weren't too excited about it. But definitely shout out to them for actually making a good move. Normally we don't see that on those decisions. Obviously, you'd expect that 24-hour window, but I'm surprised by that. That was kind of like 6 hours. I was down here recording actually a video coming up later in the week. The Solo Racing Master GTA series was going on Saturday. I was sitting here recording it, getting ready, doing a little ahead of time, and look at my phone, and NASCAR app's like, hey, the race has moved, and okay. So how did it work? Of course, the format was going to be heat races. Ooh, how did that work? I think it was going to be like the top 4. Something like that. Top 4, top 5, whatever. Or maybe even the top, I think it might have been top 5. And then you had the last chance race, which put 2 more in. Then you had the provisional from whoever was highest in the standings was going to make it into the race. But all that got wiped away. And it was a little bit of practice, and then a qualifying run, and then you go. So, obviously, who was going to make it in? The only driver we knew that was going to be in it was Ryan Blaney, because he's the champion for 2023, and it was highest in points. So, Ryan Blaney was in if he needed the provisional, which turned out that he actually did. Ryan Blaney was like 30th going into that. So, he didn't need the provisional. Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, Joey Logano. Those are your fast qualifiers. Kyle Busch as well. Those are the guys that were at the front doing really, really well. And it was pretty much them throughout the race. Start of the race, Denny Hamlin led a little bit. Once he caught to the lap cars, he fell back, though. Ty Gibbs pulled away, absolutely dominated. I was loving it. Feeling good for a little bit there. Of course, Ty Gibbs is my driver now. It's Kevin Harvick retired. So, I was like, all right. same players at the front. You had Gibbs, Logano. Hamlin got his way back up. He fell back a little bit. Truex made his way forward. Blaney made his way forward. And Larson was right there. Kyle Busch was right there. So, really good battles between them. Again, a few crashes that let Gibbs get a spot to try to get back to the front finally after a few not so good restarts. And, he got back in the lead, pulling away, looking good, 10 to go. Michael McDowell and Ross Chastain, they have an incident. So that sets up for a late race restart. And, Ty Gibbs did not get a good start there. Logano got him a little bit. And I believe that's the point that led to their discussions after the race, which were a little bit heated, which we'll get into because that was kind of the highlight, I guess, from the end of the race. Gibbs fell way back. He got hit. I think Larson, Bubba Wallace, they all hit each other. Ty Gibbs got spun around. That brought out the last caution. And Denny Hamlin was in the lead because Hamlin was in the lead. Gibbs was second. And Hamlin was sliding the tire a little bit. Gibbs' tire was going as well. He made a little move, lost a lot of ground. That's when he fell back. And then that's when the crash happened. So that was a good battle a little bit. Gibbs, ran his teammate good. Which, exhibition race. It's whatever. And as a teammate, don't need to crash Denny Hamlin at the end of the race. Just let it go, right? So, go through the race, and Denny Hamlin does get the win on the restart. He says I beat your favorite driver line with the crowd again. He got a few more cheers than I think normally. I think being in LA market, maybe there's less people that are into NASCAR there. It's more of an event to go to than watching every week, which is cool. Also, the event was just free to get into because the Saturday was supposed to be free. So that was cool. So again, probably a few more people that are just either neutral on it, maybe new to NASCAR from watching the Netflix show, which I do want to touch on that a little bit in today's video. So, watching that, maybe some people like Denny Hamlin a little bit more from that. And, I think that he did get a few cheers, but he did get some boos. So you had that, and then damn. After the race, you had Logano, Gibbs having some discussion. Logano went over and told him what's the job about getting put in the wall. And Gibbs just responded basically with, I've seen this for years. I've seen you for years, right? Logano's always been a bit of a clown, driving into people. I tweeted it out earlier that he's on his clown form earlier this year. Logano drives into people, through people all the time. So he's one of those guys that he just can't handle it himself. He's always kind of been that way. So I'm not surprised. He always finds somebody to have an issue with, throughout the years. Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth. You can add Ty Gibbs to the list. Whatever, right? That's just how Logano is. That's the way I viewed it. To be fair, I'm not the biggest Joey Logano fan. I feel like he's, again, kind of lame, kind of annoying. And personally, he's probably one of the most overrated champions in NASCAR. And probably one of the most overrated multi-time champion. Win those over a full season, buddy. Not something he's going to do. He's not came close to that. So, he's a product of the playoff system. Let's put it that way. He ain't winning a full season championship. So, I don't really rate him highly, to be fair. That's my view on it. I'm not a Logano fan. You can put me in the Logano hater category, to be fair. Not a fan. Think he's overrated. But that's my view on it. So Denny Hamlin got the win. That's cool. And yeah, next race, 2500 in 2 weeks. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to that whole weekend. Honestly, 14th to the 19th. I'm thrilled. Took those days off from work, and because my birthday's the 16th, so I got some time off. Not gonna do any video stuff that time, so everything's sort of worked around in that. I mean, the only video I'm doing is racing debrief. I guess you could say I'm doing one video, but yeah, I'm not doing any videos in that time. It's gonna be chill. NASCAR's back. They don't know if under qualifying. We have the duels, truck race, Xfinity race, Cup race, my birthday thrown in there. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. There's a Kevin Harvick documentary coming out of FS1 on the 15th, the 16th. There's the new episode of the Grand Tour. Yeah. Fucking hell. God. Some shit's making me cough again. Comes out after doing a lot of talking, I guess, and not having a drink. That's why I'm always like, ugh, trying to do whatever. That is something you will see throughout some of these videos. Just something occasionally. My nose a little stuffed up down here. Something's affecting me. So you may see that throughout some videos. Especially after doing a lot of videos. I haven't had a drink. So whatever's happened, that happens to some of the videos and a lot of them. But especially more tonight for some reason. Just trying to prevent that little phlegm feeling. Not great. So that's why you see me looking around, someone trying to be like, all right, go away. But either way, I just wanted to mention that. Everyone's confused, like, what the hell is this dude doing? That's why. Yeah, so other things to touch on, sort of racing related, NASCAR, and we will touch on one F1 topic. There's one we haven't mentioned. What the hell? Finish off with the NASCAR portion. The NASCAR Full Speed show on Netflix is out. If you guys haven't checked it out, I recommend watching it. Very good. Let me look at my phone, make sure that's what it's called. My phone's what I'm recording on. Yeah, 5 episodes. Basically NASCAR's version of Formula One Drive to Survive. You guys haven't seen that. I mean, you probably heard of it. That was definitely one of the things that kind of pushed me into watching F1. I knew about it, seen some of the things loosely about it. Was interested in playing the F1 game in like 2017. So I was slightly like on the edge about it, but that kind of like, pushed me into watching F1 fully. I wouldn't say I'm like fully just an F1 because of Drive to Survive. There were some other interests there, but kind of helped push me into it fully. So, if you're maybe on that borderline for NASCAR, I don't know why I'd be watching somebody's NASCAR YouTube video at that point. But if you're on that, or, people that are new to it, or again, if you are just a NASCAR fan, and also if you're here because of the series, hello, welcome. Who knows? There's more people going into, checking out some NASCAR stuff. A lot of positive comments from that. A lot of Reddit comments I've seen about people interested in the sport. So it's great. Great for the sport. Obviously, it boosted F1 with Drive to Survive. So hopefully Full Speed does the same for NASCAR. It was top 10 on Netflix in US, Canada, a lot of countries in Europe. I think it was actually up to like top 5 in Canada. So it's good to see it's, promoting the sport, popular there. You got Dale Jr. as a producer of it. I seen Ben Kennedy was listed on it. So them working on things will go well when it's NASCAR related. You get both of them on something, it's gonna be good. So again, good show. I liked it. Again, I think if you're a new fan, it's brilliant. For me, it didn't really provide that much stuff I didn't know, because I follow NASCAR so heavily that it wasn't like I wasn't shocked by a result because I know who won every race. My mom might have been shocked by it because she doesn't remember who wins what race. So for her, it's cool. Well, I wouldn't say she's shocked by the result, but she'd be like, oh yeah, that happened. But I remember like all that. Like you can mention a lot of the races and I'll probably remember who won a good amount of them in the last 10 years. You can go even probably back further than that, and I'll remember a decent amount of them. So, I mean, I'll remember who won every race pretty much from last year. If we went through a list, I could name it all. Probably I should do a video on that. It's a good idea. But yeah. What else is there to say? Definitely go check it out. Like the way it was done. It followed a decent amount of Denny Hamlin, 11, and really the main playoff guys. Ryan Blaney, little Kyle Larson. There's William Byron in it. They didn't really have Christopher Bell, but they kind of did later in the show. So yeah, 23-11 guys, and then those other drivers. So I'd like to see a second season of it, feature a few more drivers, feature a little bit longer season, maybe like a 10-episode season, more of the season in there too. I mean, you could probably start like New Hampshire, Pocono area. Go from there. I mean, Dale Jr. is a producer. But start with the NBC portion of the season. There you go. So what's that? Iowa this year? I think it's Iowa, then New Hampshire, maybe something like that. Start from there, right? Follow that. I mean, you don't have to touch on everything. You don't have to be like, oh, nothing happened in, whatever track. Indianapolis is boring as hell. Who would have thought? All right, we don't need to touch on it. But, you have those pieces in there. So that's that. I would definitely check it out if you haven't, though. But for the other part of this video that I want to touch on, Formula One news. Made a separate video on the Andretti news that came out. Very disappointed with that. And I just felt like I had to make a video on it, get how I felt out about it. But this other portion, we were talking about Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari. Now, as a content creator, the smart move would have made that a video on the day that it happened. But I was busy, and I didn't have that cross my mind. Doing a lot on Thursday. So, really making a video on Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari didn't cross my mind until... So, I think it was like 4 or 5 in the morning I was going to bed. Because I stayed up way too late. And I seen like one, rumor, Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari. And I was like, sure, whatever, dude. There's always a rumor of Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari. He signed a 2-year deal with Mercedes. Why would he do that? Carlos Sainz is there. He's a good driver. Why would Ferrari get rid of him? He's the only non-Red Bull winner for 2023. So, didn't cross my mind. It was either a tweet or a screenshot on Reddit, whatever. Didn't cross my mind. Didn't matter. Woke up, checked the news on my phone, the news widget on the left side thing on your iPhone when you scroll over. I don't even know what that area is called. News there. Always check that out. F1's GOAT going to Ferrari. I don't remember what news source it was from. Like, bruh, what? Open Twitter. First one to say Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report, bro. They're putting out Lewis Hamilton is going to Ferrari. And I was like, oh my God. So I screenshot that, put that in the group chat. My parents and my brother. My dad's a Ferrari fan. My mom and brother are both Lewis Hamilton fans. I'm like, this is going to be wild. See their reaction. Which were interesting reactions. Especially from my parents who... my mom thinks that Ferrari's trash because of the clown memes. And I mean, the strategies have been great throughout the years. Recently. And my dad thinks Lewis Hamilton's too old, apparently. And he's not done well the last 2 years. So they both think Lewis Hamilton's just done because he's had 2 bad seasons. By his standards and by Mercedes standard. But I don't think he's been bad. I mean, he's, third in standings for 2023? And a Mercedes that his teammate that everybody hypes up is the greatest dude or the future legend George Russell got like 8th. when Lewis got third and was in contention for second. So I think Lewis is still top 2 drivers. Him and Max, absolute goated. So I don't think that there's an issue there. I think him going to Ferrari isn't a bad move. Again, it feels like it could be a lateral move, depending on how the rules play out. The new regulations, if the 2026 cars are going to be a evolution of the current cars, not a revolution of the cars, I think that it's going to be still not the easiest to catch up to Red Bull. I think they have a built-in advantage. And ground effects, you got Adrian Newey on it. He'll come with something ridiculous every time. So I think that Red Bull will still be the class of the field. How big of an advantage they have, who knows? But I think they'll still be the class of the field in 26. Really comes down to the engines. How does Ferrari build an engine? How does Mercedes build an engine? How does Red Bull Ford build an engine, right? Like, how is that going to work? That's what's interesting to me. But for Lewis Hamilton, I think going to Ferrari, if nothing else, is a great story. He'll win for Ferrari. I think he will. Imagine if he wins in Italy. That'd be absolutely wild. I don't think he wins a championship with Ferrari. I just don't think that's happening. But over the few years of watching F1, my perspective on Ferrari has definitely changed from this shit's obnoxious, how much you talk about Ferrari, to I understand the greatness and the importance of Ferrari. So seeing Lewis Hamilton move to Ferrari, I think really just like shows, the importance of being on Ferrari. And of course, everybody wants to be on Ferrari. That's kind of like a thing. So seeing Lewis Hamilton, fulfilling a goal, a dream, not a goal, a dream, to drive for Ferrari, wearing that red, driving that red car, I think it's just iconic. So if nothing else, it's going to be iconic. Lewis Hamilton in that car, 7-time champion in Ferrari, sounds pretty good. So, I'm excited for it. I think it'd be interesting. See the movements that take place throughout F1 now, when Mercedes has an open spot, along with Red Bull, which is going to have an open spot, because let's be fair, they're not going to keep Checo. I think 2025 is going to be spicy in the driver market, because those teams are the top, and they're each going to have an open seat. A lot of drivers going to be wanting those 2 spots. So, yeah, let's see what happens. But Lewis and Red, going to be wild. So, with that, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one. We'll be off this week coming up, but on the 19th, we return, and this series gets into full swing, I think, pretty much until August. I think we have a 1-week break in August. I believe the NASCAR Olympic break lines up with the F1 summer break. But I think between now and August, we'll pretty much have the racing debrief every week. I may miss 1 or 2 weeks in there, but racing debrief should be here every week pretty much from now until the end of the year. We should have 2 weeks off, one of them being next week. So with that, thank you all for watching. See you guys in the next one.